So to show you how twisted we are, before we came online here tonight, we were talking about lime jello and mace and a good court recipe.
Yes.
Spicy
Delicious.
Jello?
Delicious and nutritious. You mix that with a side of justice and a parole board and good eating.
Justice is best served cold.
Cool. Well, that's why I use jello.
Yep.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sidebar. It's nice to have all of you here this evening with us. This is going to be a broad topic that can go in about 1,001 directions.
Yes.
Because we kind of got on this with, again, the whole Judge Boyd thing. I'm sure everybody knows at this point, but just in case you're out there and you don't know, Judge Boyd last week lost in the primary. So she will be leaving the bench at the end of the year. And with her goes her streaming, because her opponent just basically lambasted her for the fact that she streamed her court. And that's how she won with her truths, which I think a lot of us believe are lies, that she put against Judge Boyd. So that. But then as well, there's other weirdness that goes on all around the idea of streaming our courts and channels like us picking up those streams. We have viewers out there that love it. We have viewers out there that think streaming is the worst thing in the world, yet somehow they're watching. So I'm not sure how that
Got to give us
How
that hate
sorts
watching
itself.
phenomenon.
Yeah. So that's going on. We have judges who make legal threats that don't stand, but they make them anyways, that if anybody touches their stream, they're going to get like the electric chair.
Judge Wolf.
Yeah. So all sorts of crazy stuff. And there's a lot of directions we can go. But Michael, this was kind of your idea to do this tonight. So would you like to lead us off with your wisdom on the matter?
Yeah, this got started because, well, I wasn't here for the sidebar where the Judge Boyd clip that now has quite the polarizing comments started, but I weighed in on this the other night, and this led to a broader conversation about how streaming courts and the morality and the ethics of it. And we know we've kind of discussed this before with the Judge Fleischer situation. And now we kind of have Judge Fleischer again, but it's Judge Fleischer and then a blurry cam where you would see the defendants and the attorneys, but that has been blurred out for reasons unknown, probably because of the criticism that he received, and he caved to that. And I know there's a lot of schools of thought about this. One of them is we shouldn't stream courts. It humiliates the defendants, or it makes a mockery of the system, or people are making profits off of it, or it's just not right. And to all of that, I say itu ay kalokohan, which is Tagalog for that's bullshit. And
Nice.
It is absolute nonsense. Courts should be public, and I think transparency is. We talk about a lot of things that are broken, right? And this is a common theme on TCF, on In the Blind, on my weather channel, and basically anywhere that Dan or myself or a lot of us in our own personal lives talk, right? But one thing that I think we can say about the court system that is a good thing is that it is supposed to be transparent. It is supposed to be open to the public. And what better way in this 21st century to do that than to have everything streamed? We have body cams that record law enforcement now. We have, why not have the entire process of the criminal justice system? Why not have all of that out there so people can watch it, so people can see it, so they can have more confidence in the system, or less confidence, whatever, so they can understand what's happening. You can go down to your local courthouse and watch a trial. So why not be able to do that from your living room or from wherever you are?
That's my point. That was my point
Yeah.
exactly, Michael. And that was the point I was going to come in with, is that everything is open to the public. So if you go to court and you walk into the courtroom, you can sit and watch court happen. And so why is that any different than doing that live streaming? Why would it be different than someone just walking into a courtroom? Yeah, it's more accessible, but that's the only thing that is really different about it.
Yeah.
I've thought about this as this show was, coming up this evening, and one thing that dawned on me, and I made this point the other night, and that's that there's this worry about like stuff getting out there and protecting people, but then there's the whole for profit angle too, and I'm sure we'll get into that, and there's all these objections that get put out there, but all of this stuff has already been happening. It's just been happening with mainstream media.
Right.
It happens on the nightly news in every city. It happens in the newspapers. It happens with shows like Court Cam on A&E.
Yep.
Things get clipped, stories get written,
Court
stuff
TV.
gets out there. But the difference now, I think, is that it's out of the control of those who hold the power.
That is true.
Gatekeepers.
So the judges don't have the control anymore. The mainstream media doesn't have the control. It's in our hands now. And honestly, that's probably the biggest cause for the pushback.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's the fact that the people now have all the control. I mean,
And
let's
that's
face
exactly
it,
how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, who the hell are we here
Yeah.
at TCF? We're a small channel in the grand scheme. We've got a loyal following. We've got brains, so we're looking at stuff, we're thinking it through, and that probably scares the hell out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Truth be told.
But I mean, even in the Constitution and whether it's the federal Constitution, state constitutions, I mean, these trials are supposed to be public. They're supposed to be open to the public. And, we keep modifying, or we keep saying that other parts of the Constitution should carry over to modern, there weren't machine guns in the late 18th century, but keep and bear arms. We say, okay, yeah, you can have your machine gun, you can have your AK, you can have your whatever. Why is open to the public mean? It's only open to the public if you come down to the courthouse and you sit there in person, and that's the only way that it can be open. And not all of them are open that way, but some or most are kind of, sort of, especially on Tuesdays and some Thursdays.
Except all the days are Mondays now.
Yeah.
Right. And that's I'm telling
problem.
I'm telling you though, this is COVID, as annoying and as just as changing as it was on our culture. One thing it definitely did do is open up all these avenues for us to be able to view more court. And again, I see no problem with transparency. I see no problem with taking it out of the hands of the gatekeepers and letting people being able to watch it for themselves and see the process. There's a lot to educate yourself about. Before TCF and before all this started being served to me, I told you my genesis of how I came to find TCF. There were other channels, believe it or not. The non-AI slop, because that's a relatively new phenomenon, that were serving me all this stuff. And then I came upon TCF.
Yep.
But, I knew some about how the courts worked based on, Court Cam and these other like big time trials that were aired over the last 30, 40 years. But a lot of the smaller procedural stuff, I didn't know completely. And it's interesting to see how it's done in different states. Yeah, I kind of had an idea of how it's done here in Arizona, but seeing how it's done in different states, that part is also fascinating. And so I see no problem with it. We can debate whether or not Judge Boyd is a good judge, and I think she's great, but flawed. But isn't that how it should be. We should be able to have those discussions. We should be able to debate whether or not Judge Stevens or Judge Boyd or Judge West or whoever is doing a good job, is a good judge, is how they handle their cases, how the lawyers are proceeding, how if the court system is working as intended. We should be able to have those discussions because it's open to the public.
That's one thing I was gonna. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Beth. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Dan made the point earlier about how the people in control no longer have the control, but I wonder, along those same lines, kind of what Michael was just talking about. If some of the judges and the powers that be themselves don't like it because it then forces them to be accountable for their actions.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was going to, Beth, with the whole accountability aspect. The courts probably feel, if I was in the court's position, if I was in the judge's position, I would feel a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Just because not every court does things the same way. You might get criticism about the court in a way from viewers as well. So it kind of makes me think, if they want to be that transparent because of that pressure from the public to say, oh, no, you're not doing this right, or they're doing this better type of thing, and just comparing courts in that way. And that's something I think is evident as well, even though they don't want to come out and say that, because they are like Judge Wolf, for instance. Why else would you be so against your court being televised like it is, or not televised, but shown like it is?
Well, since you brought him up, perhaps I read that and give the audience some context.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this is 3 weeks ago. He posted this notice on his channel. Now, Judge Wolf has been streaming for a very long time. So this is the conflict that I have with a lot of these judges, is they stream their courts, but then they clap back at anybody who watches or does anything with it.
Right.
It's insane. But this is an official notice regarding unauthorized restreaming, impersonation, and content misuse. Due to the repeated unauthorized restreaming, reproduction, and misuse of this channel's content by third-party YouTube channels and other social media platforms, Judge Wolf has elected to remove the majority of archived live streams dating back to 2020. He goes on to say this channel was originally established during COVID-19, whatever. It comes to Judge Wolf's attention that certain for-profit channels are impersonating this channel, reproducing previous deleted content, and altering such content through artificial intelligence and other technological means. These actions misrepresent the official court proceedings, undermine the integrity and transparency of the judicial system, and may constitute violations of criminal law, copyright law, and platform policies. Tennessee criminal impersonation statutes. Criminal impersonation is generally committed by acting as another person with intent to enter, defraud, or unlawfully obtain services, benefits, who impersonates a public servant with intent to induce another to submit to such pretended official authority, or otherwise act in reliance upon that pretense to the person's prejudice. A circuit court judge is a public servant within the meaning of that statute. Any person or entity falsely representing themselves as a judge, altering court footage to suggest judicial authority, or publishing content that purports to originate from or represent a judge without authorization may be subject to criminal liability. And then it goes on to explain the code, which is kind of worthless. But then he says, all video content, including live stream court proceedings, is protected under applicable copyright laws and related intellectual property rights. No individual, subscriber, YouTube channel, website, or other platform is authorized to restream, reproduce, record, duplicate, copy, rebroadcast, distribute, modify, embed, or otherwise use any content from this channel in whole or in part without the written permission of Judge Wolf. Unauthorized use may result in the following: copyright infringement claims, takedown notices, platform impersonation and fraud complaints, referral to appropriate law enforcement. That's Judge Wolf's threat.
Okay, so I've heard that before, but now that you reread that, Dan, it kind of brings up more thoughts to me. It seems like he is against the going toward like the AI concept and having that like his court stream modified. I would think he would have a problem with that. And because I have a problem with that. I don't think court streams should be modified in that way by AI. I think you should keep things how they are for educational purposes and things of that nature. So I understand his take on that. But like we mentioned before, the copyright it doesn't like really
apply.
it doesn't apply here.
No.
But the whole fabrication with AI and everything, I can see why he would go with say that about AI, but I don't understand the whole restring, copy, redistribute concept of that.
That's the whole thing is he talks about like the AI and the people that are copying his likeness or whatnot, but then he throws everybody under the bus.
Right.
Or at least tries to. And says, if you do this, I'm gonna slap you. Well, happy attempt at that.
Well, and that's the other thing. Even if it is AI that's doing it, because of what is it, Section 230, he can't go after YouTube. And if the actual creator of the AI is in a different country, good freaking luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, plus, even if they're here, I mean, you could almost make an argument that you're doing a parody.
Yeah.
And parody is certainly acceptable.
Yeah.
And besides, courts are public domain. You can mock them. Now, yes, can you go on and say, I'm Judge Wolf or create a channel that says you're him? Okay, maybe that part you might have a little bit of a legal ground to stand on. Outside of that, everything else he wrote is you're neck deep in poo-poo. I mean, that is you're wrong. Sorry. Wrong. And there's no.
And yet he continues to stream his courts. So he wants his face out there. But he wants to have control over it. Well, that's not how it works.
And
it's not how it works. It's not how it works for me. Anybody can grab my stream, clip it, and do something with it.
Right. And he's not one of the judges that really lets defendants come in on Zoom from what I've seen. So he wouldn't use that for that purpose.
No.
So yeah, exactly, Dan. I think he's
trying
to
because
control.
He wants to be out there.
Right. He wants to control the official record. And I get that as a judge, you want everything to be authentic and nothing to be, changed up and stuff. But just saying downright that it shouldn't be copied whatsoever is, I don't understand what he's saying.
We also have to. Oh, go ahead, Austin.
The blanket viewing of it like that's as long as you leave it not necessarily whole, but you don't go and like put one word here, and cut it all up. There should be no problem with that because you're not changing the record. You're still showing the whole hearing or a huge portion of it, but you're not doing anything. It's literally copy paste. That's it.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say as a reminder is that all judges start out as lawyers, and lawyers sending out scary things that they don't intend to actually follow through with is not a new concept. I mean, that's been done for ages and ages.
Yes.
So should I read the replies to Judge Wolf's?
Oh, that might be
God. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was typing this out. There was some name confusion.
Oh.
They thought Ashley was Lindsay.
Oh.
And there's a call for me to put the name plaques up. I can't do that tonight. I turned them off because you can only have one name per source, which means Beth would also be labeled Dan. So
That'd be a problem.
figure us out.
Beth
All
and
right.
or Dan and Dan 2.0.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
I'm Ashley, not Lindsay. Lindsay is curling tonight.
Yes, she's sliding rocks across ice for fun. All right. So, comments from viewers. Todd says, "Thank you for doing this." Doc Mama Jones says, "I understand. Some of those impersonated channels have popped up in my recommended feed. I've been following Judge Wolf's courtroom since the pandemic. I've learned so much about how the judicial system works and why things are the way they are from watching his courtroom. He's a fair judge who takes great concern in applying the law as written. Thank you, Judge Wolf. I hope impersonators are called out and held accountable." Another one. "There's always someone who insists on ruining it for the rest of us. Judge Wolf is my favorite. As long as y'all keep live streaming, I'll be watching." There's another channel called Casebook Chronicles using the court's videos. Reply to that comment, report it. Another reply to that comment. There's several who do, such as @insanely_confused suggested, "I'm going to start reporting them because this is ridiculous. These people don't give two hoots about the huge do not record across some of the judges' streams and only care about making money off them. Not on our watch. They're ruining it for so many in many different ways."
So for all the
How
court
heroic
these
of you.
people for all the court these people have watched, they sure have learned a lot. I roll here.
There's one more. "I don't understand why someone would do that when the court clearly told everyone not to. I guess they don't mind a copyright strike or being charged with a crime."
It's not a crime.
I would love for just any one of those people, just one of those people to quote, cite the penal law where rebroadcasting a public trial or a public hearing is a crime.
Okay.
I'm sure they could recite the penal law because they're a bunch of dicks.
So
there
we go.
Nice.
It's in the solved sit book. Did you know that, Mike?
If there was if my response to those people would be, I understand that they would learn a lot from Judge Wolf, but the problem is Judge Wolf is just Judge Wolf. In Tennessee, at the TCF bunker, you have all sorts of different judges, and you get a different, I wouldn't say flavor. What am I trying to say? Different
variety.
A variety of judges to compare and contrast to. So in that way, it helps you not become tunnel vision for just one court. You have a whole variety and a whole. The more you watch, the more knowledge you get from the different courts out there. So that would be my clap back from that one lady's like, "I learned so much from Judge Wolf. Like, you only know the court from Tennessee, but do you know courts in the other states as well?" Would be my argument, which would be no, probably.
I'm amazed that there weren't. Oh, go ahead, Beth. I was just gonna say I was amazed. I was amazed that.
This is amazing.
Rock, paper, scissors, left. No, I was just saying I was amazed that all those people just sort of sheepishly, like sheep, they just went along bad with everything that was said there. Just like, yeah get him, Judge Wolf. Yeah, yeah. And like not one person went, hey, douche. Like, just so you know, these are public and we can restream them, or one of these channels just comes in there.
I don't think any of them said anything about fair use, correct, Dan? Like, none of them said,
no, they didn't.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, because this phenomenon now has trickled into the judges' feeds. I mean, we've seen this before in other parts of YouTube, but Judge Wolf clearly has stands that are going to follow whatever he says, no matter what. That's what those people are, in theory. They're no worse than, or no better than the stands for all of
White
the other
knighting
crazy,
for him.
Yeah, crazy YouTube channels out there.
That's a good point.
Well, look, Judge Wolf is not the only one who makes threats. Honestly, probably about half of the courts that we monitor here, it's stuff from the little do not record thing in the corner, all the way up to we hold the right to prosecute you if you do this, and bring it on. But my favorite was probably the New Jersey courts from the other day.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm just going to paraphrase this. I'm not going to look it up again, but the New Jersey courts, and if you want the full thing, you could go back to the live stream 2 days ago. The New Jersey courts had a thing on there that said, we shall prosecute you if you show our stuff. And they were citing a law that had to do with like bootlegging, black marketing, copywritten material. So first of all, it's not copywritten material, but then I went and read the code. And the code specifically talks about music and movies and TV shows and other such performances.
Yeah.
It used the word performances. So I called out the New Jersey courts and I said, okay, by citing this statute and trying to stand behind it, are you admitting that your courts are performative?
Have you clipped that?
No, but I will.
You should.
I haven't gotten to that day yet to clip it.
You should.
I'm like a week behind. But yeah,
that's kind of wild.
I was gonna say, didn't think it was Judge Washington have like a 5 or 10 second like title screen that said do not copy, do not cut and paste, and what it not at the beginning of each of hers.
Yeah, probably.
It's one of the judges in Michigan.
Yeah, we see that, and Judge Stevens has the big do not record on there, and a bunch of them have, some.
Judge Stevens is great because Judge Stevens' do not record logo that he's got posted has a watermark on it from the site he took it from.
Oh my god!
I forgot about that.
He stole it.
I need to try to find it.
Yeah, I remember that now, Dan.
Irony is so delightful it would choke Shakespeare.
Do you think they put the do not record up just to cover themselves and not really?
What are we doing there?
Just
Okay.
cover themselves liably? I kind of think so in a way.
I think they're just doing that just to be overbearing, just to remain, just to have the power.
Might be a little bit of both.
This is mine. I'm the judge. It's mine. This is my court. I loved what Judge McNally said the other day. He's like, because he had that defendant, that kind of sob-sit defendant. It's like, well, it's your court, sir. He goes, this isn't my court. He's like, he's telling him it's not my court. I'm just elected by the people of this district. I've just come in here. Judge McNally, the more he's got the right attitude about this stuff. There's no do not record.
Yep.
And he just leaves all his stuff up there, and it's just,
I saw in the comments, Great Granny posted, but it's viewed on YouTube, so sue YouTube and leave the little people alone. In theory, that's a great idea, and this could be a whole other sidebar discussion, but Section 230 prevents anybody from suing YouTube for that type of thing. All of the social media conglomerates pretty much have just a blank check to have whatever on their channels and not get in trouble for it.
For the most part, yeah.
YouTube has gotten in trouble recently, though, with different things, but I think.
Oh goodness!
Sorry, there it is. You'll notice the Shutterstock watermark.
So he didn't even pay the $3
No.
to get the
Get the do not record that he posts
Oh
on
my
his channel.
goodness.
You could
Okay.
make your own. You could just have somebody make it, or you could just
AI could do it.
AI
Yeah.
could remove that watermark.
Yeah.
If you still wanted to use that, you could just say, hey Grok, hey ChatGPT, remove the watermark.
Jeez.
Oh, let's get back to where. There we go.
Okay, so now
Yeah.
I wonder if tomorrow when we go there, if he's going to have that fixed or not, or at least
Well,
just
it's been up for
completely
2
new.
years now, so I doubt it. And it's not the first time I've pointed it out on a live show.
Yeah, that's true.
No,
That's true.
right. He's pointed it out before.
I think I've missed that. Whoops.
I think he pointed it out, Dan, with
Shutterstock
Fleischer.
should sue him.
Yeah.
And that would be legitimate.
It would.
Yeah,
it
it
would
would.
actually be
Yep.
legitimate.
This is
That would be
copyright infringement.
So funny. Maybe we should collectively email Shutterstock.
Get a petition going.
Oh. And
Hey.
Mrs. TCF reveals that she's a little bit vindictive.
Hey, I like it.
Contact.
They'll
them
have
through
to go to
LinkedIn or something.
Jefferson County to take care of that.
I like how
Mhm.
Beth's mind works. It's cool.
It would be more fodder for the channel, though. I mean, that would actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, we'd have to make a deal with them that we get to follow them around with cameras.
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
know, make
Yeah.
a whole documentary out of it. Oh, I don't know. It's none of this makes any sense to me. It's all it does make sense to me. I'll stick by what I said towards the beginning of this, which is the fact that I think it's the people who had the power are losing the power, and that's the clapback.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it doesn't make sense to me from any other perspective than that. I mean, you know, it is part of our society that these things are open to the public, and it used to be that you would just walk into the court and you would watch in person. But then, you know, newspapers come along, so and it, you know, and mass printing comes along, so everybody has a newspaper, not just the guy who goes from town to town like in that one Tom Hanks movie and reads the news. You know, it's everybody's got it, so everybody's able to see it. And then we get television and radio, and these things are broadcast there. And now we have the internet, and there's just no difference. I think if anything, though, what might scare these people in losing power is if you look at a single judge's docket through the day, it's 15 to 20% action and 75 to 80% dead air.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you go to a channel like ours, especially with our live show, we're like this. We're moving from case to case to case.
Yeah.
There's very little dead air. It happens sometimes if we're waiting for something to happen, or I happen to have stepped out of the studio and somebody cut their feed. But because that's happened too. But
Yes.
but we just, you know, we're moving from case to case. So we're getting to see a whole lot of court in a whole little time. And I think it keeps a lot of what the judge really does, for good or for bad, in the limelight. It doesn't hide inside a 7-hour docket.
Do you think, Dan, it might be a possibility that it might be a puppeteering thing? Because what I'm thinking, you know how Judge Fleischer had the attorney issue saying, I don't want you to view my clients, turn off the feed type thing and all that stuff? Well, what if the attorneys are going to the judges and asking them to put up all this stuff so their clients are not viewed on different streams? That was also a possibility in my head of why maybe the judges themselves don't really care, but maybe the attorneys do.
That's possible.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Dan if he disagreed with me what I said earlier, because I think outside of what you said, that the other reason is that it holds them accountable to what they're doing.
Yeah. No, I agree. What I was saying was kind of in relation to that, it holds them more accountable because what they say and what they do isn't buried in a boring 7-hour docket anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you had let off with the power portion, and I think it's a little bit deeper than just the power portion because a light is being shown on them and they can't really hide as well.
I think it goes hand in hand to an extent because those in power don't like accountability.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
At least not for themselves.
No,
They'll like it for everybody else, but
that's
And
pretty
then
historical.
Speaking of accountability, then there's the aspect people will say, yeah, but you're showing these defendants and, they're innocent until proven guilty, or, even if they are guilty, that doesn't mean you just sit there and mock them. And I'm like, well, my response to that part would be, if you committed a crime, it's already public record anyway. Right. I mean, the fact
if you've been arrested for one, not even committed, just arrested for it.
Sure. But if you've been convicted of a crime, or if you plead to a crime or whatever, I mean, that's all part of the public record. Now, yes, juveniles and such, that's different. But again, juveniles aren't, for the most part, outside of a murder case where they're being tried as an adult. I mean, we've seen in Judge Boyd's court, I think there was a 17-year-old in there. But I mean, for the most part, they are kind of shielded and they're not shown on the streams. But outside of that, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I don't see the issue. Again, look, for me, if I was being accused of a crime and I was going into a court, I sure would want everybody to see it, because if I really felt that I didn't do anything wrong, and I would want every aspect of it documented. I'd want full transparency. I'd want everybody to see it, as many people as possible. I don't know. And if I was an attorney, especially if I was a good attorney, it's, especially if you're a private attorney, it's like free advertising.
Yeah.
That's true.
You can't beat that.
Yep.
Just as quick as it can show somebody being guilty, it can show somebody being innocent and exactly why they, or what made them innocent. I'm trying to think.
And Austin, to build on that, not only that, but I think maybe this is maybe more pie in the sky thinking, but maybe to a very, very small extent, maybe it offers up a deterrent and says, hey, these are real consequences. You can read about it in a book, or you can court hearing. You're seeing somebody that got capped for their third DUI in Texas, and now they're facing 2 to 10 years, and there's real consequences for this. That to me, it shows it. I would think, again, we talk about everything being broken, but this is one area where we could build public trust. We could build accountability. We could accountability for everybody, not just the defendant. Right. Prosecutor, if there's if there's an overzealous prosecution, defense, if the defense attorney isn't showing up and doing their job, like we saw in Judge Stevens' court, or if a judge is incompetent, or a judge is making bad or good decisions. Because again, how many times do we skip over the judges on the ballot, or we only go for the ones that we know or that we heard about in the news? Again, this it's information on top of everything else too. I see only benefits to having things streamed.
Yep. I agree.
I agree with that. And to piggyback off what you're saying, Mike, as well, I know we've seen some. Well, we've seen Boyd recently with her losing the primary, and her opponent was clapping back on her live streaming. Well, and she's that Franco that's her last name,
Stephanie Franco.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's the one that said that, kind of suggesting that Boyd's live streaming is a liability. So back to this copyright stuff and everything, I just can't get out of my mind that this copyright stuff is to not really tell people not to copy their stuff, but maybe to protect the judges and the court from liability as well. So that my head keeps coming back to that concept for some reason. So I just want to put that out there.
Well,
Liability on the court?
Yeah. So if someone takes the court's content, for instance, and does something to it to make it not accurate or something like that, then there would be backlash back on the court, and that public trust will.
Because lies spread faster than truth.
Exactly. And it's performative,
I get what
right?
you're saying.
Yeah,
And
it's
it appears that
performative, right? So I can't help but think that they're using that copyright just to, like, well, we told them they can't copy our content type thing. If it does come back and bite them somehow. So
Maybe. I would
I'm
like to take a
thinking.
moment to point out something, though, that I think is important for anybody who is watching now or runs across this. When I started this channel, I made certain editorial decisions straight away. One of them that I thought about honestly was, is this really something I want to do, especially if somebody is not guilty? And I decided that it is what it is because it's out there. But the biggest editorial decision I made is we do not alter the story here.
Yeah.
All cases, all hearings are shown from beginning to end. Nothing is ever changed. So, what we're presenting is what happened.
Yeah, and I agree. And I agree with that.
I think that's
Dan.
important to note. Now, there are definitely channels out there that don't do that.
Right.
That will twist things around. That will give you a thumbnail with a Judge Middleton that looks like a doll made by Kenner.
Yes. Or the screaming McNally, the screaming Boyd that looks like Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So, but we don't do that here. And quite honestly, I said this the other night, we'd probably grow faster if we did those things.
Well,
but
and
I'm
Dan,
not going to.
Can I just say, you brought up something that I think is really important. You said when I was starting this channel, I wanted to consider, I asked the question, should I show someone that's not guilty? And I think even more important than showing guilty people is showing not guilty people, because again, put myself in there, right? If I'm not guilty, I want everybody to see, I'm in court and I was found not guilty. Ring it out from the top of the mountain. I'm not that's what I'd want to show. Absolutely. And again, it speaks to the transparency. And, these courts, they don't show the jurors. There's still parts of this that are still, sacred and that are still protected as they should be. We don't show the jury. There are certain things that we don't show, certain personal information that we generally don't put out there. Those kinds of things I think are still kept for the most part private. But everything else that should be public is public. And I think that's really important. I mean, look, how many times we've gone to Judge Glazer, and I know her audio is terrible, but I mean, it's still interesting because I find it fascinating how many cases they have to go through there. And just, and the whole process, and seeing Judge Glazer, wind down toward hangry time, and it's every aspect of, because they're human beings. But I mean, it's just from a strictly wanting to, everybody wants to know how stuff works. If you're at all a curious person, what better way than to have all of this be transparent, be public? So I don't know. There's nothing that anybody could say to me on this topic that would make me go, oh yeah, we better keep that private. We better shut that stream off. I mean, look, Michelle this week has been watching, in the last couple of weeks, been watching that Corey Richins trial. She likes to watch those high profile cases. Brian Koberger and Lori Vallow and, all these others. And why not? Those, you don't hear anybody complaining that those are out there.
True.
No. And if any of those defendants are found not guilty, it will be life altering for them. But we look at the type of things that we see here on TCF, where generally speaking, we're not covering high profile things. We've had a few that have come through, but most of what we have is just local kind of things. These people's lives are not going to be ruined by their name being out there buried in a stream.
There's so many of them too.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, who's going to remember? Oh, have I seen you on a stream before?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I mean, only the ultra nerd would be at a grocery store. Hey, check it out. That's the guy. That's Hoarder Man. Like,
okay, Hoarder Man might be recognized.
Well, he's a little bit more. Yeah, he's a little bit more viral, but still
for showing up so many times. But yes, exactly.
He's become him and Mr. Magoo.
Yes.
And to a lesser extent, the guy from California, the guy in Judge Mercer's court that is a attorney general from California and
undercover attorney general.
Yes. And oh my gosh, there's a few of them that stand out, but even those guys, because there's enough of the wackiness out there, even they start to get lost in the shuffle after a while. I mean, there was the guy in Simpson's court who's the 11th cousin of Trump or whatever, and who is being persecuted and is being unfairly tried because of everyone from Trump and Elon Musk all the way down to Judge Simpson's wife.
Yes, all in the conspiracy against him.
Yes.
But see, I'd already forgotten about that one until you brought it up. So.
I forgot about the Simpson's wife part.
The whole Hitler,
I'm the nerd
Hitler
that'd be in the
thing
store
too.
going, "Hey, you're the guy from Judge Simpson's court. Recognize him."
Oh my goodness. But haven't we we've only had a handful of people that we have constantly come back to like that, right? That we have followed. So the chances are that we will not meet these defendants in real life, or other people won't recognize them either if they run into them. So I do.
And so many are traffic court and stuff like they got you for expired plate, and like, I mean, how many of the Judge McNally? We could sit there. There's hundreds of. Everybody starts to look like everybody else after a while in there, because it's like, I got you. They're gonna go forward on impeding traffic. $120 court cost. All right. It's like after a while, it's just cool. I mean, unless somebody really, every once in a while, somebody will have a trial. They'll want to actually have a whole hearing on their traffic ticket, which by the way, I think that's great. It's their right. It's fascinating. Great content. We might remember those a little bit better. But again, would I recognize that person if I saw them in public? No, I don't think so. Maybe a couple of the SovSit guys, but other than that, probably not.
Nope.
And if you're stupid enough to be a SovSit, by the way, you should be mocked. The problem with our society right now is sometimes, we do have a bully mentality society, but sometimes there are people that deserve to be told you're stupid. Sit down, stop being dumb. There are a few people in our society that need that. They need
Arizona has
that shaming.
Motorist law.
Right. The people that drive around the barricades when the roads are flooded and you can't see the bottom of the road, or they drive through the washes, and then they get stuck and the helicopter has to come and rescue them, or they have to get a boat or whatever and then they get
save
them
up on the news. Yeah.
And they should be.
Yep.
Yeah. I kind of made my own law one time here at TCF. It's the only time I really called out a defendant, because I called it the stupid defendant's law. And this was back in Judge Fleischer's court. It was a lady who got nabbed for a DUI. I think it was her second one.
Yes.
And she threw a fit to Judge Fleischer that he streamed her first proceeding, and that her hearing got clipped, and it was on all these other channels, and it was ruining her reputation, and she was just livid with him and livid with anybody on YouTube, and we were all evil. So I made it a point to show every single time she was there, and every time made its own video.
And the other thing was she pled guilty.
Yeah, she's guilty.
So she's guilty. She drove while in time. Now, again, is it the crime of the century? Is it the worst possible thing you can ever do? No, but it's still a crime, and it is still putting the public at risk. And
Well, the thing with me was
she
was complaining about how bad it made her look. I look so bad to everybody now. We did it. Sorry.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's on you.
When you do something dumb, you're going to look bad. I don't think anyone's looked cool being, getting a DUI.
Yep.
Guys, I make this DUI look cool. Yeah.
Maybe cool in the moment, but not cool in court.
Nah, drinker. I haven't had too much salsifer, but I'm cool. Like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? What are you guys? Yeah, you guys doing?
That just gave me an idea. As
No.
part of all the DUI sentences, they should have to watch themselves on the roadside, like doing the tests and how they react to it.
Well, I think a lot of them do get to see that, especially if they go to trial. They will have seen that footage, but that would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be kind of.
But look, that brings up another point to all of this. You know what? Everything that went on there was recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And anybody can FOIA that footage.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Whether you like it or not, your life is out there. It's just the way that it is now.
Mm-hmm.
People like us who voluntarily put ourselves on YouTube, we kind of lean into it and accept the fact that we're out there. But it just is, and you're not going to avoid it. So this whole worrying about who's in control of the footage and what does it say about somebody, and you might make $1 off of it. Whatever. I mean, but here's the dark truth. If for those who out there who think, oh, you guys are just making big money off this footage, do you know how much this show is going to make tonight? Unless somebody super chats.
0.
It's going to make about 25 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's it. I mean, it's folks, this is not, we're not Mr. Beast here.
No.
We're not making millions.
Well, I'm glad, but
I mean, I don't want to be Mr. Beast. Now, don't get me wrong. We have our ambitions. We're working towards more, and I'm not just building a channel here. Beth and I are building a media company, and we're happy to have all of you along on the journey with us. So we'll get there eventually. But in volume sport, you're not making millions of dollars off of anything that you do here. It's just, it's just not.
Yeah.
So the money argument doesn't make sense either. I don't know what people think, but they must just look at this and go, oh, that's super easy and they're making millions and it's just not fair. This is the hardest I've worked on anything in my life. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara.
Very nice.
Thank you, Barbara.
$5.25. So.
There you go.
Especially if someone is not in YouTube themselves, I understand how they would think that because they have nothing to compare it to. But but if you don't know, I mean, I'm the type of person that wouldn't speculate how much somebody's getting either. So
Well, if you are in the content creation business, I mean, you can kind of look at a channel's views and the niche that they're in. And, you know, we kind of start, the calculator kind of automatically starts going off in your head of like kind of where they're at, you know. And
Tim gives 5 memberships. Thank you, Tim.
Oh, thank you, Tim. Really do appreciate that. I tell you, and by the way, this wasn't like quiet begging or anything for super chat.
No,
we're just
we don't.
We're
do
telling
that
you, you know,
we were just trying to be transparent. See,
yeah, I out loud will. Well, I don't beg for it, but I out loud do it over on my channel, just saying help us out. But you know, but I don't quietly, subtly do it. It's out loud. Here we just, but the reality is, guys, the reality is like. People think, oh, a video got 10,000 views. You guys are exploiting it. It's like 10,000 views. I mean, if you put out a video every day that got 10,000 views, look, you'll make a little bit of money, but you're not making your house payment.
No.
Unless you got one of those houses in like, you know, somewhere in like
one of those
Metro
tiny
Detroit
houses.
One of those like $500 houses. It maybe be able to pay that, but
Florida man trailer, maybe.
Yes.
Well, think of it this way. Unless you are a big YouTube channel, I don't think you should be doing this YouTubing alone. Like for instance, Dan, when you started TCF, you didn't just do that solo. You had other things to back it up with.
And we still do.
I feel like a lot of channels are like that. Yeah,
we still do. We split our time because we have to, because this is not enough yet to sustain us.
Right.
Now we have that goal, and I've been transparent about that too. And you guys can back me up on this. I've said all along I'm treating this as a business,
right?
Yeah,
because and I say that more than anything because it shows the level of seriousness that I'm giving this, because anybody who knows me knows that business is important to me. But I'm working my butt off here. I mean, what I probably put 50, 60 hours a week into this channel.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Not counting the other channel.
Yeah. Not counting the other channel, not counting the other channel, and not counting all the other things that we do. Just this one, easily 50 hours.
Or the entire day the other day where you were having to write code to fix an update that screwed everything up. Yeah.
Further transparency, since Mike brought up the 10,000 view video, I just pulled one up at random. An 11,000 view video made us $50.
Exploitation.
It's okay, but I mean, but I guarantee you there are people out there.
$50 barely buys you McDonald's now.
It does not buy you McDonald's.
How much does Court Cam make? Like, if you want to talk about exploit, you know, and that's your argument, Court Cam, Court TV, the big networks. I mean, the people, you know, all that stuff. How much are they making? You know, because they have big advertisers. They actually have like corporate sponsorships, car commercials, you know. This defendant getting sent to prison for child stuff is brought to you by Pepsi. The official drink of people that do child stuff.
It's like Live PD and OP Live. I mean, those people have like serious contracts. They're not just sitting around doing this for pennies.
And you know, I'm glad you brought that up. Nobody talked about that show being exploitative. Nobody's sitting there going, oh, they're showing these guys, these defendants or the cops or, you know, those other shows. They're showing these guys, these you know, perpetrators at a low point in their life. How dare they do that? Nobody does that. People are sitting down with their chips and queso, and they're sitting there on their couch and making sure that they, you know, expanding their ever-widening can, watching and going, yeah, I'm glad it's not me this time.
This time.
Yeah.
Grandma TCF, thank you for the $5 so you can go buy ice cream tomorrow. It's on sale.
We do need ice cream, actually.
We do, so we'll pick up some tomorrow. I don't.
Ice cream does sound good.
I do.
Especially since didn't you say it's supposed to be in the hundreds this coming week? Oh my god!
Next week, the hell is coming to us about 3 months ahead of schedule.
Satan's oven. We live in Satan's oven.
Yes, Lucifer's taint. Yes.
Tim pledges a sponsorship of $1 a week. Thank you, Tim. Now, the funny thing too, you talk about Court Cam like making money off their sponsors and all this kind of stuff. We had one, and I say had because I ended our relationship with them, but we had one high-profile national sponsor on this channel, and I got clapback for it like it was a political problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes I just don't know what people want. I really don't. I don't know what I love all of you in the audience, but sometimes I don't know what some of you think. I don't know what you believe, but I'll give you the truth. And that's that, we're just presenting court as it happens here.
Yeah.
We're having fun learning, and we're not becoming millionaires off of it, at least not yet. And that's just the truth.
And further up in the chat, Great Granny made a good point about all of the equipment that it takes. And
that's
Michael
the other thing.
Attest to that. The cost of doing a channel and even trying to do it remotely well, even if you were just using an iPhone, iPhones are like $1,200. So, and then you need a stand for it, and you need a good internet connection, and then you know what I mean,
a ring light,
and a ring light, and
all sorts of things.
I mean, Studio B, which is a sort of a smaller mini version of what was Studio A. I mean, to have the equipment in here, there's a lot of equipment in here that makes all this happen. And it's not just the equipment, it's also learning how to use it. There's software updates. It's learning how to navigate around that. As someone that sat in the hosting chair for TCF, there's a lot of technical things you got. And again, I'm not saying, listen, I'm not sitting here trying to say it's like, building a nuclear reactor. Okay. But
close.
But it's not.
But there's
it's
a lot
not
to
as
it.
simple. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts in just to putting TCF live on the air.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into it.
We actually have 2 internet connections just in case one goes down.
Yeah, we got a backup. So just in the studio, 5 studio lights, 3 computers, 1, 2, 3, 4 separate monitors.
Yep.
2 cameras, 3 microphones, a Behringer to control all the microphones, a couple of external hard drives to hold all the media that we create, a network box, a battery backup, 2 internet connections. It's all got to work together.
And a cat.
And a cat
and
that breaks it.
And we ran a direct link from the internet connection, so we're not actually connected via Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we're hardwired into this room to boot.
I think Sabrina heard cat.
So and don't take that as a woe is me kind of thing. We did this because we wanted to do it. But but we put this out there again to just, I think, kind of make it clear to everybody how much goes into this. Nobody's getting rich. We do it because we have a passion for it, because it's fun. We'd like to make a few dollars along the way too. I'm going to continue to be transparent about that. But none of that equals we're doing a disservice to anybody. I think we're doing just the opposite to that.
Well, no, and the funny thing is the judges, for example, that are, throwing out these threats and everything. Do you think they buy their own chair? No, it's a government job. Like nothing that they have, they purchased themselves. It was given to them. They may have been able to pick it, but they didn't spend their own money for the stuff that they use for their job. Come on.
Judge Stevens and Judge West complain about those damn tablets and stylus and all that in every friggin' day.
Right.
And Judge, you're a judge. you could go out there and purchase a few tablets for the courtroom if you wanted to.
Yeah, totally could.
Hey, you probably got a few extra bucks coming in. I know those judges, they may not be paid top dollar in Jefferson County, but they're getting some money. They could certainly shell out maybe $1,000, couple $1,000 for a few tablets and get that, taken care of. But no,
I wonder if any of them get a clothing allowance.
Oh, probably.
No, seriously.
Yeah, probably.
I bet some of them do.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Judge Stevens' wardrobe provided by the Men's Warehouse.
Or a government car. That's not over the line. I've heard of that before.
So in some counties, it's
cars
Hugo
are very
Boss that
popular.
provides it.
Yeah.
This deferred adjudication provided by Honda.
A government credit card. So, if they need to go out and do a business lunch or something like that, they're not paying for that either.
Government card provided by Capital One.
Yep.
Yeah.
The government card so that he could take the child stuff guy out to the Sizzler.
That's how it goes right there. That's probably the best place to end this since we're already 6 minutes over.
Oh.
I don't know if we can do better than
I didn't realize we were.
I don't know if we can do better than the Capital One card, so you can take the guy to the Sizzler.
Probably not.
I've told you that story, haven't I, Beth?
Yes.
Yeah, it's insane.
But the Capital One card probably gives them points back too. So
Yes,
they get rewards for taking the guy to the Sizzler.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh heavens! All right.
Well, we totally derailed that, so I think it was a win.
Ish. Yeah, I agree. I think this is more on topic.
We kept it more adjacent than normal.
Yes.
That's true.
So
anybody got any final thoughts? Anybody?
Well, I was just going to say we kept this more adjacent than normal, which means I didn't do my job properly.
You did not. We'll talk about your contract tomorrow.
Yeah, I clearly didn't. I tried my best to take it off the rails, but it just kept going. I blame you guys for trying to keep this thing relatively on topic. How dare you? That is not the mission statement of this show. I don't know who told you. By the way, Austin is here with us tonight.
Yes. No tornadoes tonight.
His home is still there. He's not hiding in the laundry room tonight.
That's very good news.
And I'm pretty sure it's safe to make this public. It sounds like he's going to get all the features on his chair that he needs.
Yes.
So it's been a win-win for Austin today.
Yeah.
He's got his home still, and he's getting the chair that he needs.
Austin is not stuck in the Mondays.
I was just going to say, Austin is the one who is not having a Monday. That's awesome. At least one
Very
of us.
awesome.
There you go. Final thoughts from you, Bethy?
No, I'm good.
Ashley?
I just don't know. I don't know what these judges are thinking when they're trying to put up these copyright things. I'm trying to figure it out in my head. It's not going to work, whatever it is. So don't try. Let things be.
All right.
I guess is what I would
Well,
say.
I will say this. I think a lot of the pushback is from a lot of the AI content. That's probably what's getting most of the judges' attention. So honestly, if you want to make the judges happy and keep content like this going, then you need to throw all of your support behind channels that are clearly human created.
Yeah.
Great.
So it's not just us. There's others that are out there that are putting in the work. Go support them as well.
But especially support TCF.
Yeah. And I might have more to say on this matter in coming days. Long story short, I'm in communication with a couple of these channels. So we shall see. But that's really what it comes down to, is just trying to pay attention to where you're putting your eyes and your time. If you put it on the right places, the other ones will go away and these judges will probably back down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's it. All right, friends, this was fun. So much fun. We'll do it again next, Tuesday?
Tuesday.
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And we'll be back here tomorrow morning for the TCF Morning Show. Hi, Freya. The TCF Morning Show, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, a half an hour earlier. If you are a channel member, go have yourselves a good night. Take care. God bless.
Good night.
Where did my mouse
Good
go?
night.
Have a good night.
There we go.
Yeah.